is like, how does it adjust? And you can have adjustments to those systems in a disruptive fashion or a controlled, planned fashion. I think, though, one of the value propositions of exploring Bitcoin as a strategic reserve is it potentially acts as a hedge, and it helps facilitate potential gradual transformation of sort of the basic system. No system lasts forever. The question is, if you transform that system, do you do it in a gradual, controlled, and a deliberate way that accrues power to the United States, where we hold a disproportionate share of Bitcoin in the world. So we're seeing a lot of changes and a lot of disruptions to the existing systems of economics, of sort of geopolitical relations. And Bitcoin, I think, is rising to the geopolitical conversation at that same time. And so naturally, countries are looking to see how it can play a role in aligning with their own national visions for strategic advantage.
Sure. And if we sort of accept that to be true, that countries around the world are looking to this asset and to this network and seeing how they can leverage it to their own benefit, I think we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is that regardless of whether or not people announce sort of landmark public policy or policy intentions over the next 48 hours, it's clear that we are in a sort of historic moment, just by the simple virtue of a former president, a leading contender for the presidency, as well as several senators and high-ranking U.S. public officials who have, as of late, really been beating the Bitcoin drum. I think the implications of that change in signaling alone, this movement from Bitcoin being a sort of speculative trinket or a tool for criminals, but to something that is worthy of serious consideration at the highest levels of government, I think the implications of that are likely profound. And so my next question is, what are the implications geopolitically of a United States, or at the very least a United States with a strong contingent of leaders basically being incredibly bullish about the future of Bitcoin and their country? What kind of dynamics do we expect to materialize from an America that is, forward-facing, bullish on Bitcoin? Do we expect competition among countries? And if so, is that competition zero-sum or positive-sum? So, Brian, let's kick it off to you and go down the same order of panelists.
Well, I think that Bitcoin is doing for money what the internet did for information. And it's going to be critically important if the U.S. wants to maintain its leadership globally to be forward-looking on this. And we're in a moment where that makes the most sense, because we've seen excessive money printing and we've seen a lot of inflation recently. And so I think Bitcoin's value proposition is rising rapidly in that conversation. And if the U.S., as sort of the home of global capital, does take a pro-Bitcoin position and really starts to see the value and integrate it more into its